I was prepared to be underwhelmed by the Motorola briefing ahead of the IFA 2019 trade show. Let's face it, while the Lenovo-owned brand is finally doing well financially, it's been a long time since Motorola did something exciting. Well, what I saw didn't exactly blow me away. Neither of these is the rumored RAZR foldable phone. But I did come away reassured that the spirit of innovation is still alive at Motorola. First up is a phone you might have seen covered a couple weeks back, the Motorola One Action. On the surface, it looks like just another iPhone clone, which is what originally turned me off. But when I picked it up, I immediately got a flashback to the Sony Xperia 1, the good kind of flashback. And this 21:9 form factor is still a rarity, but holding phones like this makes me wish it weren't so, especially one-handed. I'll come back to that in a second. Now, the Motorola One family is a strategic play in the mid-range. That's the principal segment driving Motorola's success right now. So you'll find a plastic back instead of glass, a full HD screen instead of a more ambitious one, and a spec sheet topped by a Samsung Exynos processor, which is kind of interesting. Oh, but don't worry, it's engineered for millennials. Okay, there is a cool part here, and it's what the company has done with the camera. This one packs the expected trio of 12-megapixel primary, 5-megapixel depth sensor, and a wide-angle action camera that gives the phone its name. It's not the action camera's 117-degree lens that made me sit up in my seat. It's the fact that Motorola went in there and rotated the sensor 90 degrees, like physically rotated it. And here's why. So you can hold your phone upright and still shoot landscape video. Now, if that kind of sounds like a 2019 solution to a 2015 problem, yeah, I feel you. The reality is that the video snobs have basically lost the war on portrait video, thanks to apps like Snapchat and Instagram. And that's fine. This is still cool in a flip video kind of way, for folks who want to shoot proper landscape video and want a more comfortable grip to keep it steady. Folks like the skateboarders and surfers who might ordinarily buy a GoPro for that purpose. But while those folks will appreciate the excellent software stabilization that Motorola has included here, they'll probably be as confused as I am by the lack of ruggedization or waterproofing that you'd expect from a phone with action right in its name. There's just Motorola's usual water-resistant nano coating on the boards inside. This is available now in Brazil, Mexico, and parts of Europe, and will come to the United States sometime in October. Just don't expect that fetching teal paint job to make the jump. We're just getting the boring colors. Sad. If you're disappointed by that, don't worry. There's even more to be sad about. The more impressive of the two phones I saw isn't slated to come to the US at all.
Update alert. Motorola took our feedback from the pre-briefs and presumably some more market research and decided, you know what? We will launch this product in the US after all. So, what's so special about the Motorola One Zoom that prompted such a dramatic 11th hour reversal?
Well, let's start with the most important thing if you're addicted to eye candy. Yes, that's a notification light built into the Motorola logo, and it can be any color you want, as long as it's white. No matter though, since it does a nice job of setting off the glass pinstripe finish of the quad camera module mounted atop that satin glass backplate. This camera's a doozy. With a 48-megapixel primary sensor with optical stabilization, an 8-megapixel telephoto with 3x optical zoom, also stabilized, that 117-degree wide angle again, and a depth finder to round everything out. That ambitious camera module is supported by equally aspirational specs, including a big 4,000 mAh battery that should last quite a while in conjunction with the power-sipping processor. I'm tired of talking numbers, so let's lean into software for the finish. You may have noticed the lack of Android One branding here. Motorola is cooling way off on that program. The One Action will only have it in certain markets, and the One Zoom won't have Android One at all. Now, that's not too big a deal, since I've always found Motorola's take on software to be excellent, with useful improvements and a minimal aesthetic, but I do wonder how this will affect the company's already questionable reputation for keeping up with updates.
For what it's worth, the company says, quote, "We will offer at least one upgrade," that's an Android platform upgrade, "and provide all security updates on a frequent industry standard schedule." We'll see.
Again, don't expect the Zoom to come to the US. I'm mainly excited to see Motorola experimenting with ambitious ideas in the mid-range, particularly in the optics department. Because when that fabled RAZR does eventually land, and I'm really hoping it's soon, I'm not going to want to sacrifice camera capabilities for a folding screen. Folks, there's plenty more to see from IFA 2019 in Berlin. Be sure you're subscribed to the Mr. Mobile on YouTube. And for more up-to-the-minute mobile news, follow me at the same handle on Instagram and Twitter. Until next time, thanks for watching, and stay mobile, my friends.